So now imagine your life right now without computer networking. Okay. Every day we have been checking our emails, going through our social media accounts, watching videos online, and messaging our friends through WhatsApp. Okay. Now without computer networking, all this will not be possible. So computer networking is actually an important part of our life right now. So what is this computer networking? It's all about communication. Okay, it's about two computers be able to talk to each other, and this talking means exchanging of data between computer to computer across a network. And this network, okay, is about setting up the necessary hardware, software, and protocol so that both computers are able to exchange the data. So what are the requirements for computer networking to work? We need our hardware, which include your computers, routers, switches, and cables. And also the software, which include your drivers, operating system, and the application that we use to send our data. And all this forms the internet. Okay, and for all this to be able to work with each other, okay, we need rules or protocol. And currently the internet is using the protocol called the TCP/IP. Sending data is just like sending a letter. Let's say you're in Clementi, okay, your girlfriend or boyfriend is in Bedok. If you want to write a letter and send to him or her, okay, first you need to write a letter. Okay, after writing a letter, you cannot just post it out. Okay, you need to follow some rules or protocol. The rules say that you must have an envelope. Okay, put the letter in the envelope. Okay, write the name, write the address in the proper format. Okay, attach a stamp. Okay, if you follow all this protocol and then drop your letter into the mailbox, okay, the post office will be able to send your letters. Okay, and the post office will also follow certain protocols to make sure that your letter gets sent, okay, to the correct destination post office, and the destination post office will also follow certain protocol to make sure that your letter gets sent to the correct mailbox so that your sweetheart is able to read your love letter. So all these mailbox, all these post office are just like your switches and your routers. Okay, so when you need to send a letter or data, okay, to a destination PC, you also need to write your data, put your data in the correct format, okay, with the addressing in a certain format. Okay, all these formats are defined in the protocol called TCP/IP. If you package your data correctly and send it to the switch will be able to read your data and then forward it to a router. The router, based on the header that you write, okay, is able to forward your data from one router to another router to another router, and eventually your data will get sent to the correct destination address, okay, to the destination PC. Okay, now let's look at the different network devices. Okay, first, the switch. Okay, if you remember, a switch connects computers in the same network. Basically, it helps to switch packet to computers that's connected in the same network. How do they switch packet? They switch packet based on MAC address, based on your physical burn-in address of the computer, not IP address. And switch will not be able to deliver packets to another network. Okay, if this packet is going to another network, the switch can't help you to deliver it. Okay, the device that you need is a router. So you need router in that network. So what does router do? A router connects different networks. Okay, it helps you to connect different networks so that you can route packet from one network to another network. How do they route packet? They route packet based on IP address, specifically based on the network portion of the IP address. So you will route packet from one network to another network to another network until it reaches the destination network. After that, you'll pass the packet to the switch. The switch will then forward the packet to the correct destination IP address. And they will forward it based on the MAC address, okay, that is tied to the destination IP address. Okay, now, quick question. Based on your understanding of routers and switches, can you look at this topology and tell me how many different networks are there in this diagram? So now do a quick count. Okay, so if you understand the definition of switch and routers, okay, then you should be able to arrive at the correct answer. Okay, first, let's look at the switch. A switch connect device in the same network. Okay, so these three connections are actually in the same network. So this whole thing is in the same network. Okay, so this is one network, a single network. Okay, so once a packet enter to a router and then exit from the router, you have arrived to a different network. So this is a different network. So if you do your count correctly, so right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when the packet enter to this router and then exit from the router, you have reached another network. There's no more router at this end. So this is just one whole network. So in total, we have 7. We have 7 different networks. So in terms of IP addressing, the IP address of this PC and this PC plus the IP address of this interface should be in the same network. Okay, these 3 IP address should be different, but they should be belongs to the same network. Okay, and the IP address of this interface and this interface should also be in the same network, but different from this network. So the IP address of these 2 interfaces are in the same network, but different from this network, and so on. So we have 7 different networks, and the IP address of those circled in the same network should be in the same network, but different from each other. Okay, so what are networks? Networks are basically similar to the different areas in Singapore, like the Clementi network, Bedok network, and so on. Okay, so if you want to send data in the same network, basically you do not need a router. What you need is just a switch. Okay, similarly, if you want to send a letter in the same area, like the Clementi area, you actually do not need a post office. You just need to walk to the destination block and then drop the letter. So there's no need for a router, like there's no need for a post office. Okay, what you need is just to walk and then drop the letter. So walking is like asking the switch to help you to switch a packet because it's in the same network. But if you need to send data outside your network, let's say you're in Clementi, you want to send a letter to Bedok, you will need a router. You will need a post office to help you. And this post office must be located in the same network as you. So you need to walk to the Clementi post office. Okay, so how do you send data to the Clementi post office? You ask a switch to help you. So you pass the letter, or you pass the data to the switch. Okay, the switch will then help you to forward the data to the router, which is a post office. Then the router can send the data out of your network to the destination network, or towards the destination network that you want your data to go to. So how do routers help to send your packet to the correct destination? They use what we call the IP address. This is also known as logical address because these addresses are not your physical address. Say right now you are in Singapore Polytechnic, you get one IP address. If you go home, your IP address, does it change? Yes. Your IP address that you get from your home router will be different from the IP address that you get from the SP network. So this IP address changes as you go to the different network. And as you know, IP address will look like this. Okay, there are 4 numbers separated by dots. Okay, and in particular, these 4 numbers consist of 2 portions, the network portion and the host portion. Okay, so if you remember in your network fundamental, a /24 means that the first 24 bits, which is these 3 numbers, represent the network. Okay, the last 8 bits are the host bit. Okay, it represents the host. So your network address is 200.11.11.0. Your host address is host 20. So this is host 20 in this network. So it's similar to an address in Singapore. We also separate them into 2 portions. The host, which is where exactly is the mailbox, and the network. Okay, where is this host located at? So that's your IP address.